Well, hello.
Hi. Yes. Yes.
I'm Jeanette,
I'm Usadine.
and we're both with Courageous Home Care. We are excited to be here in front of you today. You've been gone for a little bit.
Just a week. And then we skipped a week because we had.
Oh yeah, we had a we did. Just like we've been gone a long time.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
we had a good program last week.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about exercise, and Jace was a fill-in. He did okay.
Yeah.
You did okay in your place.
Okay.
Not the same, but he handled it well, and talked about wellness and stayed right in line with our topics. I think
Yeah.
with we've talked about things like healthy eating. We've talked about consistency. You have a couple of words you threw out for us before in the past. Do you remember what they were?
Ooh.
I put you on the spot.
Stamina.
Stamina's one.
We talked about stamina.
Where you continue going. What's the word that you? I know what it is. What did you use in place
Just
of
now?
stamina? Persistence.
Persistence. Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
We talked about that.
those are two good words that are coming up. And hey, listen, while we're doing this, the fall season has started. I'm gonna give some perspective, some historical perspective here in Kansas City. Okay, fall and across the globe, the fall season has started for us here in the Kansas City area. My favorite season, except those people who are in the South or in the western part of the country that don't really experience the climate changes we do in the Midwest. But fall is a wonderful, wonderful season because one, the leaves change. They turn beautiful, beautiful colors.
Oh, for sure.
The trees become, of course, naked. And to me, there's so much symbolism in there in terms of letting the old shed away in your life, letting the old fall away, preparation for the new, which is when springtime comes in. Unless you're the person that don't like leaves, but I even love raking leaves because when my kids were little, the fun of leaves in your yard is making big, big piles and then jumping in them. And then we had a game, and when my kids were coming along, they're both adults now, but we would catch the leaves. It was called Catch the Leaves. Let's go in the back, and as they come off the tree, let's see how many you can catch while they're blowing in the wind. And then we take that and make little things from it. So, I mean, it has a lot of symbolism for me. The Kansas City Chiefs are winning. We're 8-0.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes
That's
is doing amazing. So this is, I think we're on a very historic run right now. I'm not a football person. I'm not going to give stats or anything because I can't.
I don't know
but
anything
I know
about
we're
that.
winning, and I know we're eight wins and no losses.
Yeah.
I also know that the clocks went up an hour. So we sort of lost an hour. If you're feeling sleepy all the time, that would be why.
For the first couple of days. Yeah.
You're going to feel sleepy. So we thought we'd do a couple of things. We're going to talk a little bit about daylight savings time and what it does, but also what I thought we kind of talked a little bit about on Fridays, maybe changing our segment to Ask a Nurse. And then all those questions that you might have as we venture through this journey called life. We could have you and kind of pick your brain and have your expertise and share what your thoughts are in the process. Now, I'm pseudo. Let me give the disclaimer. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a medical professional. However, my work for many, many years, 3 decades, has been with children with special needs. I've often partnered with the medical community. I work with children in mental health. So it's always been, I've always worked in tandem with the health community, social services, education. I am a hodgepodge of services, and so I take all those things very seriously because when we're doing special needs, you have a team. When you're doing special needs adults, you have to have a team. When you're lifing with people that you love, guess what you got to have?
A team.
You got to have a team. You see that theme go all the way through there?
That's
okay,
teamwork.
but let's talk about daylight savings time. I'm going to hook it, and then we're going to talk. Okay, so Sunday, I know on Sundays you go to church in your house, right?
In my house?
In your house, your
my
household goes to
yes,
church.
yes.
In your household, you go to church. Okay. In mine, we go to church. It's just me. I get up and go to church. And I'm usually done at 1. Church is really long we start at 9:30. I'm in church a long time. What time do you get out of church?
About 10:45.
See, she's out very early.
10:30, somewhere there.
You come to church with me one time and just hang out. But okay, so I'm in a traditional church, very traditional. Okay, so 12 o'clock is when the Chiefs are going to kick off. Okay, they're kicking off at noon this Sunday, and I only know this because normally they're like on a Monday night or they're playing later. I brought all that and I said all that information to say that daylight savings times does impact how we live our lives, because now that when we push our clocks up an hour, we lose actual daylight. Mm-hmm. We lose it. Mm-hmm. So when I get up in the morning, which I normally start early in the morning, like between, I want to say 4:30 and 5, and I'm ready to exercise, I'm sleepy now. I don't want to get up because I feel that hour. And then when I get off from work, it's dark again. Mm-hmm. So it's dark in the morning. It's dark when I get off. And so when it's dark outside, what do you want to do?
Sleep.
You see where I'm going with that?
Mm-hmm.
So now those words that you talked about, right? Which were?
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Oh, okay.
What was another one?
Consistency.
Consistency. Mm-hmm. And so now when we encounter challenges like things like eating right, we've talked about that. Mm-hmm. Maintaining good mental health. Making sure we don't abuse our bodies and get appropriate amount of rest. Those things are kind of a little bit more difficult, especially when the seasons change, because I don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want to do nothing. I'm telling you right now. At all. I love doing this right here. This is good, but I don't want to get up.
Yeah.
But I know, how do you feel when you finish exercising?
Oh, I feel wonderful.
Your energy level shoots up?
For that time period, yeah. Then I'm tired again, like I did this morning.
Okay.
I did work out, but I'm tired again. But
so everybody's feeling this, okay? What I'm trying to say is we all are feeling this kind of change. Mm-hmm. So now here's the thing: we know what we said our goals were. I know you said a lot of times, write it down.
Yes.
Write down make points for yourself. Write those mm-hmm. goals down mm-hmm. on things you're going to accomplish. But now I don't even feel like writing.
Everything's a mindset.
So now I'm going to talk about what we can do, because we hit these. This is real life. Like this is real. This is really the things that we experience, what we go through. So now what do you do on those days when you exercise and you feel good for a minute mm-hmm. and you don't feel like it?
Oh, that's every day. Mm-hmm. I don't care if the weather's sunny or it's cloudy. It's just, it's hard to do that. But yeah.
So now I'm coming to you. This is Ask a Nurse. So here's my first question. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions. I'm putting you on the spot because we did not talk about this show before. Because Mr. Dean was like, I don't know if we can go with this. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good one. So here's my first question. On average, mm-hmm. how many hours a night? This is before daylight savings time. Do you think people actually sleep a night?
6 to 8 hours.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Did you look this up?
No.
Okay. You just know that?
Yeah.
Okay. So on average, people sleep about 6 to 8. And I think I looked this up and that number was around 7. It's right smack in the middle. So mm-hmm. you're right on point. Mm-hmm. Okay. So my next question to you is that during this season, during this stretch when we have a little bit more time and our hours change, do you think that average number remains the same, or do you think people sleep more or less?
No, I think our bodies adjust, We're meant to adjust to things. So I believe, especially after the first few days, we've adjusted to what that time zone looks like. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you think you go back and there's no change?
Yeah, it's like going, in the same token as like leaving this area, going to another area that the time changes and go 2 hours back or 2 hours ahead. You adjust with that time schedule.
You know what? Yeah. She's right. If I had a prize, I'd give it to you. You're actually right. But don't be surprised. I did read, and this was according to the National Institute of Health. That's where I got my data from. Last week on exercise, I got it from the Center of Disease Control. So I do try to go to a reputable source. But according to the National Institute of Health, you're right, there is an adjustment. Bodies typically adjust. However, there are people that find themselves a little bit more tired. There is a temptation when it's dark in the morning and dark in the evening when you get home to then just that temptation is just to sleep. And so it then legitimately is more difficult to be able to get up and get going. So now with those things, what should we do? Are we gonna write little pick-me-ups on top of the refrigerator, or those Peloton, those Peloton bikes that talk to you like, come on, get up, jump on the bike, let's go. Do we need to get one of those in our home so we can stay motivated? Or have a speaker in the kitchen going, come on, let's cook dinner, take the food out the freezer and
that's almost robotic. I'm telling you, no, that's not natural. No.
Wait a minute, I think we're gonna hit a time. We're not there yet in this time. I think we're gonna hit a time. Now mark this, I'm saying this first on our podcast. I think we're gonna get there. We might already been there where we're gonna have these smart homes. They're gonna be in our cabinets. We're gonna have televisions in our cabinets as we cook. We're gonna have things over our stove telling us
they already have a lot of smart homes. Yeah.
No, they're going to talk to us. They're going to tell us, go get this out of your refrigerator. No, this is still frozen. Like, it's going to tell us what to do.
That's a bit much. I don't want to even think about that one. But yeah.
We don't have to use our cards for anything. We don't even have to think. Is that?
No,
thank you?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Okay.
The mind is a terrible thing to lose. You have to keep consistent now.
So goal setting, we're in November. I'm pushing us ahead. And you know how it is. We are at the beginning of November. Holidays are coming. A lot of things happen during the fall season. I don't have birthdays, but I do have loved ones who have birthdays right around the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, Kwanzaa if you celebrate that. We have, Hanukkah for those who are Jewish, and other holidays that just fall down in this season. A lot of cool things happen during this time of the year. And I was just thinking as we walked into the studio today, I don't think it would be no other place I'd rather live. I was looking at all the trees in this neighborhood, just absolutely gorgeous, drop dead beautiful. So I'm okay with the little bit of daylight that I have. I do not like the fact that it is dark. I do struggle with that. So let's talk about, from your perspective, the things that we can tangibly do to help us. Because I'm not sure I've adjusted. It's been longer than a couple of days. I'm not sure I'm going to adjust. I feel differently. I do feel differently. And I've always felt this way over the years. So I'm not sure I'm going to feel different, but I'm willing to do what I can to approach it so I can get my mind set to move forward in this season. Because I know it's a changing season. Like, intellectually, I get it. We have season changes, and so now I'm in a season change, and now I got to push myself. But my body and my mind right now, it's a big fight. So you're going to give us all the advice. We're listening. What do we need to do?
Well, I guess having a clock, that's going to help you, first of all, because you're going to know what time it is. Make sure you change your clocks to the right time.
Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute. Did you make
There's not really
have you made on time to everything because of the time change?
Oh, we were on time to church, that day, but we didn't even know the time changed really. Because I don't watch TV a lot, so
and it automatically updates.
It updated on my Alexa, and I'm like, what time is it? So I had no clue, to tell you honestly.
What time do you start in the morning? So I start between 4:30 and 5. What time do you start?
Yeah. Every day?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I've been like this. I can't help it. When I talk, I've been like this forever. I don't think I can change. That's been like 30 years of getting up early.
6 o'clock is my push time. Yes.
You start at 6? So I've already been in the world moving.
Yeah. Which is good. There is really no formula. You asked the question. There's no formula of how to readjust to anything. It's all a mindset. So if I said it's dark and I'm going to go to sleep right now, I'm going to go to sleep. It's whatever your mind tells you. So if I say it's only 8 o'clock, even though it's pitch dark, I'm going to stay up and I'm going to do an extra hour of work or read or whatever. Then I do that. So there's really no formula for it. So I just say it's something that someone has to put in their mind and do it. Whatever you want to do. I don't care if it's dark, it's light. Some people say, I work nights, I can't go to sleep during the day because it's light outside. Why not? Just close your eyes and go to sleep. It's a mindset.
You think so?
Yes, everything is a mindset.
Okay. All right,
So
nurse.
I'm just saying, so it's no excuse when people say, well, I'm so tired and lethargic because it's so dark outside. Change your mindset. We talked about perspective. That was supposed to be our topic, by the way. Perspective.
Oh, you can weave this right
No,
on in.
we'll just wait till next time.
Let's weave this
because,
right on in.
Because again, when you look at how do I perceive things, and that's how I'm going to react to those, okay? So we had a conversation on the way here. So there've been a lot of things. We'll talk about that next week that came about this week. Mm-hmm. But I had choose to perceive it in a different way.
Do you think that were because of daylight savings time?
No.
I'm joking.
That had nothing to do with daylight savings.
I'm sorry. I've suddenly got a burst of energy right now. I'm sorry.
No, it had nothing to do with
I've been
daylight
through a lot.
savings.
I'm not making light of those things or the things that we've experienced. I just don't. I know that. Yeah. Okay. So daylight savings time had nothing to do with it.
No. It's just called life. Again, life happens, and then it's just. Again, we'll talk about the perspective piece later.
Are you a person that enjoys seasons and seasons of change?
I enjoy anything that God put on planet Earth.
Okay, and so
because the season change sometimes one day is winter, fall, spring, and all in one day. I've seen it all in one day.
You think they can go on all in one day? That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah,
I've never held on to that before.
Oh yeah.
I typically think about them in like. That's a different perspective. I think about it like chunks of time. I think about it like in fall, these things occur. In the spring, these events may occur. And in the summer,
it's supposed to occur.
Because it's supposed to. Because you plan trips and things like that, and so you plan them according to season. Yes. Right?
No. I just go.
You don't?
No.
Okay, you're a little different.
No.
You're a little different. Yeah, it is mindset then.
Yeah.
Your mindset is that. Yeah, but you know something, when I met you, remember I told you that? I told you the difference is between you and a lot of people that I've grown up with this, because I think not only that, I think it's cultural too, because you didn't grow up in the United States.
Right.
I really think your mindset is so different. Not bad. It's not bad, or it's not a judgment. You are way light years ahead of your perspective in the world. I think, now I could be wrong. This is just me. I'm just this. It's because those early years, and your early years, it dictates how you move in the world.
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
And it's limitless, or it's timeless. So when you're in the room with some people, it's. I used to hear one of my mentors say, when I was doing leadership training, she would always say, I'm trying to take people where they don't want to go. Yeah. And I remember thinking, what is she talking about? Like, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
You understand that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't. I didn't. And let me tell you this, I was well into my 30s. I was like, what is this lady talking about? I didn't understand it.
Yes.
And she was like, I'm trying to take people where? I'm like, where's she trying to take me? Because I didn't understand it. That's a philosophical question, rhetorical. I don't think she was wanting an answer, but it made me think.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of people don't know that.
And so, but I can tell you, I've always been a person who enjoys nature and enjoys being outside. I do like stillness in the world, and I do like seasons, and I like them in isolation. So I've been accused of being philosophical. I was a reporter in my first life before I was in education and health. Did you know I was a newspaper reporter? You knew that, didn't you? I was a newspaper reporter, true story, in Nebraska and Indiana. And I used to, and I was always moving and grew up here in Kansas City, but always was moving. Because I just thought the way I'm going to jump into this world and access this thing. And the mindset, I'm older now, that slowed down. I do it another way. I don't do it that same way, but I still love seasons.
Oh yeah.
I do. If you're a person that's like me, I don't know if you can relate to this, let me know. Maybe this isn't a topic that is interesting or grabbing anyone, but sleep is always, for some people, it slips away from them. Some people don't get any sleep at all, 3 or 4 people, some people 3 or 4 hours a night maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I remember those days. Yeah.
Oh,
long time ago, yeah.
Yeah. Was that, what were you doing? You said, what was happening?
Well, at that time I was working nights.
You worked, oh my God.
I worked nights.
Nurse.
Pregnant. Yeah, nurse.
Oh my God.
And working the business during the day. So that was challenging. And then you go home, probably get a couple hours of sleep. You feel like you're just kind of like
You
squeezing
sleep in.
Yeah, yeah, that was rough.
Oh my goodness.
But you had to do what you had to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, those of you who work insane hours, I know I clock in some incredible hours during the week. I haven't figured out why yet. I like work. I like keeping my mind busy, but I'm not sure that outside of that what that's all about. And I don't necessarily mean work like you're checking in work, but work like school, work like home. You know what I mean? Work in church, work like community. Just moving where I'm not necessarily still, and then taking the time to actually sleep. So by the time I hit the chair, I'm just done. Fall asleep.
Exhausted.
I've never been this person. You know, some people go, I'm up, I can't sleep at night because I'm thinking about too many.
That's never been.
That's never been me. When I hit the chair, done.
I would say, because sometimes thoughts could keep you sleepless, And I've had those, because I would think about everything if I haven't done, or I need to do, or who needs me. And I used to be like that, and I would even, I guess, talk in my sleep. My husband says, you're talking in your sleep about things you have to do. And so, I don't know. That's not a good thing, because your mind is always going. My mind is always going.
Even when you sleep?
Even when I'm asleep. At one time in my life, I've settled it down now quite a bit, where I don't try to go to bed thinking about things. You have to wind down some way, somehow, and then just go to sleep.
What's your favorite season?
I like summer, but again, it's my birth year, my birth month, so I like summer.
You like summer.
But also, spring is good, where it's not so cold. I don't like being cold. When it starts getting cold, it just kind of makes another.
It's pretty though. Thing. Snow is pretty. It's cold, but it's so pretty. Come on, think about when you look out the window during snow. And I do remember. I can't remember. Maybe it was 2010. Do you remember 2010?
They can keep.
Let me see if I'm gonna jog your memory. 2010. No. Couple of things I do remember. 2003, an ice storm that came through Kansas City that ripped us in the fall. Trees fell. When I first bought my house, I had beautiful trees in my backyard. I had beautiful trees. That ice storm ripped all those trees out of my yard. I have one big tree. All of the other ones are gone. And then in 2010, we got so much snow. School was closed for about a month. Who remembers that? That was like fall, winter. We were out of school. Do you remember that?
No.
The snow was.
I just know
about this tall.
Day to day. I try not to remember far long enough.
I'm trying to figure out how you was working during that time.
I worked. I went to work. I didn't stay home. Whatever that is.
The city did close down. Now I don't know.
I went to work.
Hospitals, I don't even know. Like they're 24 hours, but I don't even know how you could get out the driveway. You couldn't even get out the driveway. Mr. Wilson, do you remember that?
We have to be there.
You remember that? It was my kids. And the only reason why it just stays with me because they built a fort in the front of the yard, and that thing was so giant, like it was so giant. And then the snow pushers were coming in, they were plowing and pushing the snow up against. I couldn't get out. I was stuck in my driveway. I was physically stuck in my house. And those people that were still working, I was trying to figure out how they work. Now, see, that's how we different too. Yeah, see, you the asking nurse, but I'm the teacher, and I was off. Off during those months, that time when they were off. I was off at home, and they were cagey. The kids, you were at home with them, and they had all this time. And I just remember being at home. I was at home for about a month. I was thanking God, though, for real, because I just thank you. We all forget. Oh, yes, thank you. And I just turn over and go back to sleep. But, so I had seasons where I recognize seasons, but I appreciate what you're saying is you adjust. And that, who do you think get more sleep, men or women? According to the National Institute of Health. Nurse.
Do you really want me to say?
I do, for real.
Men.
They do. They get more sleep. But you'd be surprised. It's not the percent. When you look at the numbers, it's not even by very much. They probably get a little bit more sleep than. Why you laugh? Why you think it's men? I'm just curious. Oh,
because we carry a lot of burdens. We carry everybody's burdens.
women are the nurturers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's some nurturing men though. There's some nurturing.
Yeah,
men
yeah.
Who?
But you said the average.
Oh, average.
We're talking about average.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
On average, you're right.
It's not every man or every woman.
That's
it's
true.
Average. Okay.
Average, yeah. Whatever average is. I want to meet the person that's average. I think I've never met average. I don't think I've ever met average. But it's good to just kind of hear and talk about what those numbers are. And the 6 to 8 is correct. There are people during this time, though. If you're sleeping about 4 hours a night, don't be shocked. The election kept a lot of people up.
Not me.
It didn't keep you up?
No.
Fall season,
No,
election,
no,
new president.
No, I go to bed. I don't
Real
sleep.
issues.
No.
See, you gotta admit, you're not the average. That's why I love asking nurse, because it's all perspective. Because you like, it don't matter who's elected, right?
No.
Doesn't matter what the weather is.
No.
It doesn't matter.
As long as I dress warm. No.
If I've had sleep or not.
No. That's on you.
Still going. I'm still going. I love that mindset though. Where do you think that came from?
I think, when I sit back and like pay attention, it's from my upbringing. You know, my dad's from West Africa and my mom's from Des Moines, but they work hard. My parents worked hard, two jobs. And so I have a different mindset when it comes to, I need to work hard to get what I want. It was instilled in me, you know. It's not, oh, I'm just going to let someone hand it over to me. No, this is not given to you. Everything is, you have to work for it. You know, and so
Did your dad talk to you? Did your dad talk to you?
No, it's just by watching him. No,
So it wasn't like,
this
it
was
wasn't
not
like he gave.
This was not giving information. No, it is observation, and so, and then us living in Africa too. So we saw what hard work looks like. So when people have excuses, not to say I don't have empathy, but it's hard. You know, it's hard for me to say, oh my goodness, this person can't do X, Y, and Z, because that's not how I was raised. You need to get up and go get something done. You know, be productive. So.
Well, I had my parents were Southern parents. Now they, you know, I think from Africa. Like I did my research on my family tree. We're 6 generations Kansas City, and I think it's fascinating. I've taken it all the way back. And my parents, my dad was from Oklahoma, my mom was from Arkansas. So with these parents with these Southern roots, I think we're seeing less and less of that now than we did probably. Okay, like in my generation now, with where I am now, then I think that whole civil rights generation, we're losing those voices. You know, it's a whole different. We're losing those voices in terms of work ethic and where we are, and time and season, which I think it is important to understand. But when I agree, like even now, you know, sermons growing up, whether it was church or school, hard work. Make sure you're going to school, doing your lessons, you know, completing your education, moving in spite of how you feel, not everything traumatizing you, moving in spite of what I feel or what I'm experiencing right now, or the idea that whatever don't defeat me, it's going to make me stronger. That's not in the fabric of America anymore. I don't even think that's in our vernacular. It's a different shift in terms of what we hear. And the seasons symbolically, even though I really love seasons. We went to Florida, right? And those people that live in Florida, if you live in Orlando all the time or Miami, or you know, they do experience some changes, but they, you know, a palm tree is a palm tree is a palm tree. You know, you're not going to really see, and they do have, you know, the rain. But I think just being here is just something beautiful about, and very quiet and still about living in the Midwest. I think geographically, with region-wise, there are some differences. Do I think we can get it if we travel? I don't know. Maybe not. Because you're still going to go through, well, maybe or maybe not. Because I think that when you're here and you kind of understand, or people help you gain perspective about where you are during your seasons of change, you'll be okay, because it's normal that you're gonna, every 3 or 4 months, the way I see it, you know, like we change in the physical form, you know what I mean? You're also going to change in your life, those seasons. And if you can manage those seasons, some are greater than others, some are prettier than others, some are warmer than others. But I think we get through it. So your changes that you experienced this week were not as a result of daylight saving time. I just want to make sure the record is clear. Your sleep pattern or lack thereof has little to do with light or dark. It doesn't bother you in the morning when it's darker.
Not at all.
That's interesting. Okay, we're on we're on two different ends, and
my body wakes up when my body wakes up. It's time to get up.
And you don't feel
I don't even have an alarm clock. I get up clockwise.
Yeah. Okay. So we're definitely doing Ask a Nurse on Friday. We're going to let you lead the way. We're going to let you pioneer because your thinking is a little bit different. That's okay. I'm glad that we're both here because we need that yin and yang in order to be able to kind of see where we are. I don't think that my mind either with my philosophical self is either where some people are, but I try to keep some grounding, you know, and perspective on things. We have talked a lot about fall. Let's do some predicting here. The football NFL season. You a Chiefs fan? I don't even know. You know I am.
I barely watch TV.
You don't even. You know what a football is.
I watch some of football, but not really.
You know what a football looks like.
Yeah. No.
You know what a win and a loss is.
I like watching my kids play. Yeah.
Yeah, your son does play football.
Yeah.
He does play football.
So
okay, so are we gonna
I would do that and see what that looks like?
Are we gonna stay undefeated in Kansas City?
I don't know nothing about nothing. No, I don't know. Not to be a party pooper or anything, but no, I don't know.
We're playing pretty good.
That's good. I told you I barely watched the game, so it's no.
How's your son's team doing?
They're undefeated, varsity.
Really? So they're experiencing what this Chiefs is feeling. You think they're gonna stay there?
They're in playoffs. Tonight's first day.
Good job. Are you going to the game?
Oh, for sure.
So what do you do at the games if you don't?
I sit there and I cheer at one.
How do you cheer if you don't really?
I know what football looks like. I know the plays, or what I don't know.
So you know they got to get to the other end and score, right? You know that.
I know all about that. I just don't sit there and idolize no sports team. I just don't do that. There's my mindset again.
Are you able to sit through the game?
I do.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
I just don't idolize nobody's team. All
right. And it's dark when they play.
Maybe I'm different. You know, I don't do all that. I don't. Yeah.
Difference not bad. Difference just different, right? And
they're gonna put me out of Kansas City, because I'm not. I'm not a rah-rah person.
That's debatable. You know, I can help you a little bit. Patrick Mahomes, he's really a big deal. Andy Reid, he's a big deal. Nagy and Spags and Chris Jones, all those people, they're big deals here in Kansas City. At least for this season, I know enough to keep me. You know, I can have a conversation. We look pretty good. See? Yeah. So
I just choose not to.
Yeah.
I do a lot of choices, by the way. I just choose not to.
I like the way you deliver it though when you say choose and choose not to. Okay, during the fall. Okay, so we talked a little bit about, we kind of maybe off a little bit, but not necessarily. Listen, all of these things happen during the fall. Football happened during the fall season. School starts back during the fall. People that are taking classes, you have those changes. Change is where all of these things, holidays, there is so much, in my opinion, there's a lot more change that takes place in the fall than probably even people would think maybe summer. I venture I beg to differ, especially with all the daylight savings time, the changes. I think you experience a lot more. And it's just how do we handle, especially with elections every 4 years or like what we're going through right now, we're just going through a lot of change. And the key to all the change is what we're going to do with that change. We can either embrace it, right? Walk in there and say, hey, we're going to take these things, or we can
fall to defeat.
And what do you think we need to do with all this change that's taking place?
Go with the flow.
We're going to go with the flow. We're going to change our mindset, and we're going to keep moving forward. All right. Well, what can we do to Ask a Nurse? What do you like that idea?
Oh, sure.
Okay. We'll do Ask a Nurse on Fridays, at least a question. If there's a question that you have and the first person that can ask a question or come up with one, email?
That's fine.
Or during the show or after the show, let us know. And we'll have Courageous Home Care gifts to give away.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Sounds like
all right. Man, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
You want to give the email? They can email you?
Yeah. Let's see. CourageousHomecare.org. You can do it that way.
That's the website. It's Courageous HC.
Oh, that's right. Courageous HCKC. Oh, she corrected me. That's good. Do it again. Do it again.
Courageous HCKC at gmail.com.
I missed that one. Very good.
Yeah.
And then we do have a phone number, 816-699-2352.
Yeah.
Email, though. Email us.
Email the questions. Again, we're here for community resources. So, again, we know you have Google out there and all of that, but it would be personable. So, however you choose to do it.
Well, thank you so much for having this conversation.
No problem.
Talking about
Thank you.
fall, it's shedding away all the things that are old. I look at it as I like fall. It's like getting rid of the things that it's change, it's beautiful. And if you're a person that embraces it, wonderful. If you're not sure, that's okay too. We're going to help kind of walk through the journey together. I like that. We don't have to be the same in order to move through. We can have different perspectives on how we move through this journey. And in fact, I think that's what makes it a little spicier, because that's how we help one another to bridge the gap. So thank you for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week.
Like us on Facebook, Courageous Home Care, and also YouTube. Subscribe to our channel.
See you next time.